Namkasa Jane is now a successful businesswoman who has fought against all odds to make it in life. She lost her husband to HIV/AIDS and had to raise and educate her children all by herself. Life was hard for Jane, who is a vendor in Sentibali Kudembe Market. But 5 years ago, she got renewed hope when the Market Vendors AIDS Project supported her access to HIV/AIDS information and services. She was tested and found to be HIV positive and linked to Uganda Cares for HIV care and treatment. She has also been trained and supported to start a candle making business.
Seera kyetubadde mu katale ka Sentibali Kudembe tubadde mu mbeera enzibu ennyo nga tetulina kye tumanyi ku byabulamu. Naye ekiseera twatuka ekiseera ne tufuna MAVAP nejja mu katale kaffe ne tutandika okufuna okusomesebwa okw'enjawulo era nakiraba nti nina okwekebeza ne ngenda ne nfuna okwekebeza okuva ku ddwaliro yaffe erya Uganda Cares. Bwe namala okukeberwa ne nsanga nga nina akawuka kyantwalira akadde naye natwala omukisa ne nfuna okubudaabudibwa okulungi ne nzikiriza ne ngenda mu ddwaliro era ne nfuna obujjanjabi nga bwe bwetaagisa neebaza MAVAP ku lwekyo kubanga kye yakola kiyambye abantu bangi nnyo.
Jane is one of the hundreds of vendors in 15 markets whose lives have been transformed by the Market Vendors AIDS Project, MAVAP. It's implemented by the Development Initiatives International in partnership with the United Market Vendors Association.
The Market Vendors AIDS Project has been implemented for a period of 8 years, and currently we are in the last year, and we have been receiving funding from the Norwegian Ministry of Foreign Affairs. I would like to take this opportunity on behalf of the market community to thank the Norwegian people for their big heart towards the market vendors in Uganda. Through their support, the market vendors are living healthier and more productive lives.
MAVAP Phase 2 is a 5-year project that is now in its 5th year of implementation. It's using a comprehensive and holistic HIV/AIDS service model to reach many vendors with HIV/AIDS information, voluntary counseling and testing, care and treatment services. In the past 1 year, the project has implemented several activities.
We can broadly categorize them under 5 programmatic areas, and that's behavior change communication. We have mass sensitization and mobilization for HIV and STI services. We have VCT plus STI testing as well as treatment. We have capacity building for the different community resource persons we work with, as well as OVC support.
MAVAP has continued to promote the abstinence, be faithful and condom use ABC strategy to sustain the fight against HIV/AIDS. Throughout the year, MAVAP used 500 peer educators to disseminate HIV information to vendors in the 15 markets. The project has also supported the operations of the 3 vendors' voice radios in the markets of Sentibali Kudembe, Nakasero, Nakawa and Natete to reach out to more vendors. The vendors' voice committees were given refresher training in basic broadcasting techniques and program production. Over 400,000 HIV/AIDS and STI information and educational materials were distributed, including brochures, posters, branded aprons and umbrellas. To effect behavior change, discussion and experience sharing meetings were held during the year for women, youth, men, couples and people living with AIDS groups in all the 15 markets. Vendors were sensitized on common risky behaviors that expose them to HIV/AIDS infections. MAVAP aims at promoting safer sexual practices among these groups using behavior change mentors.
We have a unique approach which is called the behavior change mentor-mentee relationship. In that approach, MAVAP trained about 114 mentors, and those mentors were equipped with skills and knowledge of facilitating behavior change among their mentees.
This is a group of youth from Kamivale Market in Mukono Town who are discussing the relationship between drug abuse and HIV/AIDS infection among the youth. These meetings have helped transform the lives of many youth, including 20-year-old Emma Katende, a former drug addict.
Nze simanyi nakumanya kuba nali bad nnyo ngamba bwenti nze nga sinnabatandika kukola nga sinnaba nakirowoozaako nali muzibu nnyo nga nvuma abantu nga nywa enjaye nga akakola sikaleka era nga ngenda nenkagula lwakubeera nti tebaliwo naye kati okuva ono we yankwatako bamuyita nkugwa semayi kati mpulira nga nina emirembe mingi nnyo era nejje buli waneeno yampa omulimu era yankozesa.
MAVAP has continued to use the widely successful approach of HIV/AIDS mass testing to reach more vendors. Through this approach, over 15,000 vendors in the 15 markets in Kampala and Mukono were tested for HIV/AIDS.
HCT mass testing was an intervention which we strategically thought of to address the gaps for our clients in the market communities who didn't have time to access the services at our two clinics of Nakawa and St. Balikudembe. Putting brains together, we said, how can we reach out to those who say they don't have time, the distance is far, they don't have the money, and they fear to be seen going to clinics for testing. So we said, well, we can do outreaches, which we codenamed HCT mass testing.
Of the 15,000 vendors tested, 400 were treated for STIs, and those who were found HIV positive were referred to the Uganda Cares clinics in St. Balikudembe and Nakawa markets. The continued partnership between Uganda Cares and MAVAP has ensured that vendors who are HIV positive receive specialized HIV/AIDS care and treatment services near their workplace.
We find out for how long they have been having that illness, and then after that, those ones who need to go to the clinician's room, they go to the doctor. Those ones who just need drugs, they just get to see a nurse. Here in Uganda Cares, we offer free services. Everything is for free.
People living with HIV/AIDS through their self-help Sichomo groups have continued to receive support from MAVAP.
We have a total of 6 groups of people living with HIV and AIDS in the markets, namely St. Balikudembe Parkyard, Nakawa, Bwaise, Katwe, and Mukono, totaling to about 202 members.
Vendors have been given refresher trainings on business skills, management, and positive living. These groups have savings and loan scheme which has benefited them by boosting their business because of the availability of capital at low interest rates. The training has also enabled them run their businesses profitably.
Nfunyemu kala amagezi mangi nnyo banjigiriza okweterekera nali simanya engeri gye nnyinza okweterekera nali nkozesebwa nga ndi mu kubonaabona nnyo nineeterekera nimpesa obusente bwange kati neekozesa naye ng'ebirungi nabijja mu Sichomo.
Support from the project has also enabled Sichomo members to carry out home visits to provide medical and psychosocial support for members who are bedridden. The visits help very ill members to cope with their difficult situation because they also provide essential items like soap, sugar, bread, and other things. MAVAP is addressing the challenge of high HIV/AIDS infection among married people by encouraging couples to come together for counseling and testing. Those found to be positive have been referred to seek treatment. MAVAP has also continued to strengthen the capacity of market leaders by conducting several workshops. Over 100 market leaders across the 15 markets were trained to be able to provide support supervision, mobilization, and monitoring of project activities. The training has been instrumental in enabling vendors start up their own community-based organizations, which are now implementing some of the MAVAP activities.
The objective of our organization is actually to continue sensitizing the people on HIV/AIDS. We're also going further to continue helping those who are actually HIV affected. We're also going to continue educating and sensitizing people to promote environmental protection and conservation.
MAVAP has also conducted focused interventions for vulnerable groups within the markets. Those targeted included women, youth, couples, and people living with AIDS. Through a partnership with Barclays Bank, 100 women were trained and empowered in several income-generating activities, including making candles, wine, jam, soap, charcoal, and necklaces.
After the training, the women are offered all the items that are bought, and they'll be utilizing them as they carry on their activities. And this, once they get the market of the products, they'll be able to sell them out. Once they take up this as women, their economic status will really improve. Because besides their day-to-day activities they do, their stall, their clothes selling and stuff, when they add like these skills and start making candles, they'll be able to improve their lives.
Usually in Barclays, we always go out to the community to engage ourselves in the people we deal with. Our customers, we want to show them that we work with them, we are with them, we feel them. So we thought of coming out to the markets to try and share our skills with them. And since they are women they are market vendors, AIDS market vendors, so we thought maybe engaging more with them, interacting with them, it would help improve their livelihood, and maybe we would share skills with them, financially literate them, which would improve their skills not only today, but even in the future.
This is a women's group called Nakawa Peer Educators and Mobilizers Group, whose members have benefited from training in business and management skills. The group chose making charcoal briquettes, which are energy efficient and an alternative to the environmentally destructive firewood charcoal. This enterprise has enabled the group members earn some money and supplement on their income from other businesses. The making and selling of charcoal briquettes has been hugely successful and has enabled the members to venture into soap making. Through the Orphans and Vulnerable Children's OVC project, a total of 120 school-going child vendors have been supported with scholastic materials like books, pens, and mathematical sets. With this support, 118 of these children were able to complete school last academic year successfully.
We discovered that we had a problem of children who are very young, children who are at a tender age, yet they are working in the markets. So we decided to extend our hand to see how best we can help those children be better people in the future and also grow up as responsible individuals. So we started the campaign through our community links. We work with the people that we call the mentors and the caregivers. They helped us identify some of the children that had unique characteristics or that we would consider very vulnerable.
14 OVCs who had been supported to undergo vocational skills training at Uganda Youth Development Link successfully completed their courses and were given startup kits.
MAVAP enkwatiddeko nempa ebintu nga drier, tawero, endabirwamu, obusanirizo n'ebiviiri. Neyanziza nnyo neyanzeege kubanga nali sikisuubira. Nali mu katale nga suubira nti nange okusiba ku nviiri, nsuubira okukola saluni yange n'okuyamba omuntu omulala eyali nga nze ne muyamba naye nasobola okuba nga avaayoko nga nze.
These children were previously engaging in petty, unprofitable businesses, but now, with this form of support, they will be able to get decent employment. 20-year-old Prosi is one of the beneficiaries of the vocational skills training. Before MAVAP support, she was working in this restaurant owned by her aunt with no chance of returning to school, but the project gave her a second chance. Now, she is doing internship with Makerere University Estates Department, providing plumbing services. This has given Prosi renewed hope and she dreams of a better future.
Yeah, they have trained me and I'm satisfied. In fact, if I can get a house, I can make it, I can put there water. Now I have a bright future.
MAVAP has built the capacity of the market vendors to sustain the project gains and activities. It has enhanced the capacity of the market leaders, peer educators and trainers of trainees to continue mobilizing and sensitizing the vendors. The new community-based organizations and clinics within the markets will continue providing HIV/AIDS sensitization and mass testing. Despite the tremendous efforts of MAVAP in reaching out to vendors with HIV/AIDS information and services, recent studies have shown that HIV prevalence among vendors is at 9.9%, well above the national average of 7.3%. This calls for more support to sustain the momentum started by the MAVAP project by strengthening the capacity of the market vendors who have now been empowered to sustain many of the project activities in the 15 markets.
As MAVAP, we are leaving behind an empowered community all round, not just in HIV/AIDS, but an all-round empowered community in terms of health, in terms of business, in terms of self-esteem. We don't want to stop there. We want to see the successes that we have seen in these 15 markets, also in other markets. And currently what we are doing is soliciting for funds to do the replication in other markets. We want them to have access to HIV information. We want them to access services. We want those who are HIV positive to actually access treatment and care.